Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for clicking on the video. This is another review for American Horror Story Double Feature Season 10 Episode 4 Blood Buffet. So it's October. This is 3 years ago. We are meeting Miss Candy. We are seeing when she moved into the town. Her realtor happens to be the same guy that, you know, gave his whole spiel saying he comes in the summers, he doesn't come in the winter. Him down to the beach. The one that's, you know, up under the piers, you know, looking for a customer or something. Him. He's the realtor. And he all in her business. You know, she says that she's a scientist and she's here and she wants somewhere quiet, you know, and ducked off so that she can, you know, do her business, so she can cook in her lab. He over here like, is it a meth lab? No, it's not a meth lab. We're not doing none of that. But she'll take the place. We see her dragging all her stuff in. We see the whole process of how she makes the pill. And so now she got to push her pills. She goes to the Muse. And she's eavesdropping on Mickey and the realtor. They're at the bar. You know, Mickey's trying to solicit a little bit of head, a little bit of bussy, you know, whatever he can get. Asking for $10 and all of that. So Miss Candy walks over like, you know what? I got a little piece of coin. You do, girls? And he says, you know, show you right. Of course I do, girls. And, you know, they leave. Once they get back to her house, he laying out his price list and all of that. And, of course, she's like, we're not here for that. I'm here to talk, and that's it. I just want to talk. I'm going to pay you for your time. So she asks him about his dreams and all of that. You know, does he have dreams? He tells her that he writes, you know, and so those are aspirations of his, but he's never gotten anybody to, you know, like pay attention to it. And, you know, she kind of, you know, eggs him on and gasses him up like he can be the best, like he can be all he can be. She tells him that she's a biochemical engineer, and she spent the last 9 years working with the United States military, trying to understand and unlock the creative part of the brain. She says that the military don't want their soldiers thinking for themselves, but it feels like she's just gone rogue, honestly. She says to lock up the mind, you have to understand how to, you know, unlock it. And so that's what she's trying to do. There's tons of research on creatives, and they all say like they have no idea why they're so creative. But she does. It's the occipital lobe. And so talent people have more dense, and, you know, they've got more dense neurons in that area. And so she created this drug to target just that area so people can just be super duper creative. She tested this out on apes at first, and this is how she came to understand that there might be some side effects, some thirsts, you know, so there might be some happenings going on. And it kind of drove them mad. So I guess all the apes that she tested in this particular instance, they turned out like the pale people, you know, the bald head people, the people running around in the cemetery. They turned out like that. And so she feels like, well, maybe if I test this out on humans, let's just see what's going to happen. And then go try to offer a Mickey one. And he was like, no, thank you. I won't be needing that. And she's just like, okay, well, take this $50, and for everybody else you bring back, I'll give you 50 more. Of course he gonna do that. He's like, bet, I'll be back with somebody tonight. Mickey's at the Muse trying to get him somebody to recruit. He's sitting with TB Karen. She looked bad. I mean, not as bad as she do now, but she looked bad. She too, you know, has aspirations and dreams of being an artist. You know, she has a few of her. I don't think her work is in art galleries. I'm not sure, but she's trying to get her art off the ground. And he's like, you know, would you take something if you could do that? You know, he's trying to fish something out of her. She ain't budging, no, she ain't with it. She's like, I ain't going nowhere. I'll be right here still doing meth. It ain't happening for me at this point. So she don't even have no drive. So she's not a good candidate, I guess. Up on the stage is this man singing. I guess he's doing a little karaoke. He's all right. He all right for yang around the house. He all right. But of course he's recruited, because the next thing we see, he at the door at Candy House. Mickey told me that you got some pills. Can I have some? She like, of course, come on in. Belle Noire. This is before, you know, all of this. So Belle Noire, she's very homely, very Her husband described her like school teacher, very much so. But anyway, she's at a book reading, and it's 3 people in the place, and she's reading very in character, all of that, but nobody cares. But she's talented. Like it sounds like a good little erotica, you know, a good little book. One of the ones you see in Publix, you know, in a section of books, you know, one of those. But still probably a good book. When she leaves, no, excuse me, Candy is out on the town, and she drops in that bookstore. And I don't know how she knows this lady, but she's just like, you're very talented, you know, like, keep it up. This is great. Talking about how she was masturbating while she was reading it and all of that. And she buys a copy of the book, and, you know, I'm sure that, you know, Bill is like smitten with that, but that was just to lure her in. Belle ends up leaving and goes to meets up with her husband, and she tells him that she expected to see him at the book reading. He like, I ain't finna be listening to you talk about sex like that. Like he not here for all of the sex talk. You know, like it kind of grosses him out. And she's like, it grosses you out to hear your wife talk about sex? Yes it does. He don't want to be reading. I mean, he don't want to be thinking about George Washington, you know, like he's just not here for that story. Now he, you know, then he goes into really, kind of demeaning her, you know, diminishing her dreams and aspirations, you know, calling it bullshit. He's just mean. He's mean. She, you know, tries to extend an olive branch. Like, she just takes it all on the chin, and then it's just like, so you want to go have some drinks? Want to get some drinks? And he's like, girl, I'm not going nowhere with you. You want me to suck some peen while I'm there too? Because I guess, you know, the word on the curb is that's the gay bar, you know, as far as he's concerned. And so he ain't gonna go. He's not going. He walk away, leaving her standing there. He talking about some, listen, I was at work for the past 20 years, so I ain't have to be around your ass. But now being around you is intolerable. Good day. And she's still hollering out, so you want to, so let's get up together later? Okay, later. No later. No later, Belle. I think he's done. Belle, she's at the Muse alone, and Mickey walks up. He pretends to recognize her. I felt like, you know, like he got a tip that she was there or something, and to go recruit her. I don't know, but he tells her that, you know, he saw her through the window, and, you know, he's not allowed in there in that bookstore anymore, you know, after stealing from up out of there. And then she, you know, talks about her dreams and all of that. And he gasses her up some more. You know, that's the goal. Gas them up. Make them really feel like they are talented so that they'll take the pill. And then we can see what happens after that. And she asked him for some cocaine. And he's saying he ain't got no cocaine, but he give her a little bit of meth. Again, to butter her up, you know, because she come back asking for more. And they go to Miss Candy house. And Miss Candy, of course, is reminding her of all of the side effects, all of that. Belle is just like, I know I'm talented. Just give me the pill. I'm going to be good. I'm going to be good. She also tells her that she might just develop certain cravings, you know, and even the talented ones develop the cravings. Belle say, just hand it here and let me get the party going. She take the pill, and, you know, it looked like it kick in automatically. But when she's, you know, getting back home, that's when it kicks in, because as soon as it does, she sits down to write. And she writes all night into the next day and wrote the whole book. And when her husband comes in and, you know, she shows it to him, he's very much, you ain't write this. Girl, get out of here. This is good. So I know you ain't write it. And she's like, I did write it. What the fuck you mean I ain't write it? I did meth last night, came up in here and wrote the whole book. Yes, I did. Where were you? What did you do? And he said, I was at the dunes with a woman that don't dress like a teacher. And I was getting it on. We had sex all night. Got up this morning, had some more sex on the beach. And I'm finna take my shower and head back to her hotel and have some more sex. Because the marriage is over. And she's like, what? She pick up a bottle off the table, her empty wine bottle, and smashes it on the table and right across the neck. And takes him on, now drinks him dry. So that's that. There's that. I don't think anybody was upset about that, because he was very nasty to her. Very nasty. Oh, I forgot to tell y'all, when Mickey and Belle were at the club, the guy that had just took the pill, the singer, he had came up in there looking down bad. I mean down bad, like real sickly, like real pale, hair falling out. It was bad. So just a note on him. He ain't talented. So he's the very first one of the pale people, you know, so that's that. Anyway, after she done killed her husband and all of that, she's with Miss Candy telling her what happened, you know, giving her, you know, her update, her report. And Miss Candy is just, oh, wow, fascinating. You know, the apes did that, so it makes sense that you would do that too. Tell me more. You know, she don't care. She is a mad scientist. She's crazy. All she cares about is this study and her data. You know, the research of it all. She don't care that these are real people and that she's turning people into vampires. She don't care. She tells her that she got to get rid of her husband's body, though. So, you know, take note on that. And the very next day, the realtor walking on the beach, and we see said body because she done spread him out all over the beach. So, severed hands, feet, all of that. The singer is completely bald now. And he in there telling Miss Candy about his side effects and all of that. He jonesing. He want more pills. It's just bad. And she says she's not giving him another pill, you know, for another 2 days. It's got to be for 5 days. You know, you got to wait it out, and then I'll, you know, re-up on the pill. But it ain't been 5 days. It's been 3 days. And so you got 2 more days, and then you good. I can give you another one. You know, he complained about how cold he is and all that. She's just like, listen, it's October and you got on a small coat. Go get you a proper coat and you'll be all right. It's going to be all right. And she pushes him on out the door. He ends up at the tattoo artist / dentist place of business. Right now, it's a consignment shop. And, you know, he asking for a coat. She shows him a whole line of coats, you know, donated, you know, after the AIDS epidemic. And so we know that these are fashionable. And it's the one with the very high shoulder pads. And so you know who that is. We've already seen him. So that's when he gets his coat. It's all nice and clean and everything. But he got his coat. And when he leaves, he's, you know, sitting out at the cemetery. And he sees this woman visiting a loved one. And she's just like, you don't look well. Would you mind praying with me? And she start praying. And he looking down. I guess he getting the thirst. He looking down and sees this vase. You know, it had flowers in it, but the water was gone. He picked that up and smashed that across the tree and gave her right here in the neck. Right here in the neck. And then drinks her dry and then goes on by his business walking through the streets. The people like, oh, cool, sick costume, man. That's so cool. You know, because he got blood running and all of that. The people think that he's really, you know, taking his time with his Halloween costume. No, he been out just drinking on the people. Y'all don't even understand. When he's done, he goes to Candy's house as well, telling her, you know, what he had just did. And of course she, you know, just explains that she's very cavalier about it. You know, like she don't care that now his life is ruined and now she done turned him into this, you know, whereas he could have just been talentless and still, you know, living normal. He's like, I'm a vegan and I just really drank blood off of that lady. Like, what in the world is happening with me? And but still he wants some more pills. And she's, you know, trying to shoo him out again. And he kind of started. And she's like, she pull out her gun. Hold on, motherfucker. Wait a minute. I light your ass up. Don't play with me. Get on up out of here. And don't you ever come back again. Now you ain't got no talent, okay? That's what this is. You know, like you got this rage and you mad with everybody because now you have realized that you don't have the juice, but you gonna have to get up out of here. It's gonna be more people like you. Don't even worry about it. Don't you worry about that. You're gonna have some company soon, but get on up out of here and don't you come back, okay? Okay. When he leaves, of course, he sees this guy, you know, in an alley. I'm sorry, sir. You in the wrong place, wrong time. Because, of course, he immediately attacks him. But, you know, oh, well, shit. Belle, she stops into the tattoo artist / dentist, you know, place of business or whatever. And she's looking for a new wardrobe. You know, she says she left her husband in pieces on the beach. I'm just joking. And sis like, how long you been on the pill? I killed my man too, girl, and drank him dry. Sure did. So now they Judy's, you know. And she tells her, Belle, you know, has now written a whole bunch of New York bestsellers and all of that. So like she's on the up and up. And sis shows her, you know, takes out her flippers and shows her shaven teeth. And she's like, I gotta get me some of those. Come on, bad girl, I got you. Belle, she tip on down, you know, after she got her makeover, she tip on down to another bar where they're doing a drag show. And this is where she meets Austin. Austin in there looking terrible. I mean, terrible. And they also had a guest appearance from Eureka from RuPaul's Drag Race. I'm not sure what season she was on, but from what the people say, she was just being herself. I felt like she did a great job. Good actor. So, I mean, shit. Go ahead, girl. They're in there being mean, you know, kind of mean girl. And because it's straight men in there, too, that are just in there for the dollar bill. But Austin is in there. I mean, he still got the beard, mustache, hair looking bad, balls hanging out the skirt. It's terrible. But he gonna get on up there anyway, you know, because he's talented as well. Because we see he sits down and plays the piano. I said, look at Evan. Go ahead, Evan. You know how to play the piano? All right. I love it. I love a musically inclined person, okay? I love it. I love when actors flip it on them and then, you know, they singing. And after a while, it's like, wait a minute, I didn't know you had that too. 9 times out of 10, they do. They do. So anyway, let me move on. But anyway, they have the drag show and Austin gets up there and they heckle him and all of that. And afterwards, Belle, you know, she sees him, walks up to him and, you know, kind of does the same thing, you know, that whole spill, you know, you're talented, you know, you don't have to deal with this. I got something that'll make you real talented. I got something for you. Because he tells her that he's a screenwriter and all of that, or playwright. And he came to New York, you know, to meet a producer or whatever, and a producer never showed up to the meeting. So he's just been in a rut. And he's like, he describes the guy, and he's like, you know him? And then we see this flash where Belle done ate off the man, so she done killed the man. She's like, oh no, I don't believe I know him. Yes, you do, Belle. Yes, you do. Anyway, she takes him, you know, to go and meet, what's her face? What's the lady name? Miss Candy. Well, she's calling herself the scientist. But she takes him over there to get a pill or whatever, and of course he gets the pill, and now he's his truest self. And so she says after that, she's like, now I know how we can get some revenge, you know, and eat. So they're gonna go do that. He down. So they show up at where the queens are living. You know, they all living in one house, and they show up, and Belle is like, lock the door. And before anybody can run anywhere, she pulls out a gun and just shoots everybody and gets to feeding on people. And then Eureka runs out the back door. She tipping out, and she runs, you know, into a cemetery. And as soon as she can catch her breath, up jumps the singer. Because he full on vampire now, and takes her on out. And that's where we end out. I said, you know what? Well, I guess that was just a cameo appearance, Eureka. Like you got in, did what you needed to did what the assignment was, and went on out. Good for you. Anyway, this is really getting good. I'm glad I ain't have to look at Alma too much this go round. She's just mean. You know? I don't like her attitude. I don't like her attitude at all. But anyway, I feel like, of course, because looking at the previews, that mama, I feel like she gonna take that pill at some point in this season, and it's gonna be all bad from there. Anyway, be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It's Call Me Busby, and I'll chat with you later. Peace and light.